Hey, I'm John Henderson with HH Law, and today we were talking about open container laws in the state of South Carolina. All right, what do the open container laws in the state of South Carolina say? Well, before we get into that, let's talk about the difference between states. States have very different laws, regulations about open container, DUI, all the drinking related things. So it's very important to look to your state's laws, but also where you live. We live in Charleston, South Carolina. Our laws may be different in Charleston than they are in neighboring counties. Myrtle Beach is just up the coast, for instance. Beaufort is just down the coast, and they have different laws regarding open containers as well. And so it's important for everyone to understand that you're looking not only at your state, but also what county you're in and what city you're in for those ordinances as well. But let's take a look at South Carolina's law and see what it says, because a lot of other places have similar laws. Under section 614110 of the South Carolina Code, it says that it is unlawful for any person to have an open container of alcoholic beverage in a motor vehicle while on public highways or highways rights of way in the state of South Carolina, unless the alcoholic beverage is located in the trunk or luggage compartment of the vehicle. That's pretty simple to understand. The example of, hey, I'm going to my neighbor's house with an open bottle of wine and I stick it in my cup holder. You're not supposed to do that. That's actually breaking the open container laws. That clearly, drinking a beer while you're driving down the road is also against the open container laws, and you would be subject to a DUI and other things as well. Or having an open bottle of liquor that you're going to a party, you're not allowed to do that as well. So the way to get around that is to make sure that you stick it in the trunk of your car or outside of the grab area of the driver. Now, specific to Charleston, it says that we have an ordinance here in that it's generally unlawful for a person to consume an alcoholic beverage on the streets, sidewalks, alleys, public ways of the city. So you can't walk around downtown Charleston with the red Solo cup and a beer in it or any other beverage in there, which you're not allowed to do. Different places have different rules about this. Most of our beaches here as well. Sullivan's Island, Folly Beach, I think is still as far as I know. And the same thing on Isle of Palms is you're not allowed to have drinking on the beach, and that they have their own ordinances that say that it's prohibited and you have a fine if you're caught with an open container on those beaches as well. So with open container laws, it's important just to make sure that you know the local law and also the state law behind it. So what does this mean? What's the reasonable application and ways to get around violating open container laws? Well, the first thing is to recognize that if you finish a drink and throw it on the floorboard of your car, law enforcement pulls you over for speeding, they can get you on an open container because you have an empty cup. They can smell the alcohol was in there. That could classify as an open container. The example that I used prior of we're going over to a friend's house for dinner, and my wife and I have a bottle of wine from the night before, and it's partially been consumed, and we've corked it, and it's sitting, just transporting it. I'm not supposed to put that there in my cup holder, even if I'm transporting it and haven't been drinking it at all. That's an open container because it's in my grab space. It needs to be in the trunk of the car or in the back of my truck in a cooler to transport it down the road to the neighbor's house. The other thing to know about open container laws is that there's a difference between being a minor under the age of 21 and being over the age of 21. The general open container laws apply to people over the age of 21. If you're under the age of 21, and you're, let's say, pulled over for speeding and you have an open container in your vehicle, that you will also be charged with minor possession and an assortment of other tickets as well. But for the most part, these laws are specifically designed for people 21 and over. And so it's important to understand that wrinkle and element to this as well. In the state of South Carolina, the penalty for an open container is imprisonment no more than 30 days or a fine, usually around $100 or so. So the judge would maybe do both, could possibly put you in jail for the weekend and charge you a fine But either way, you are going to have a mark on your record. You're going to have to battle this. Probably get an attorney to give you some options, because there will be more than one option available to you depending on the circumstances. While an open container is actually a misdemeanor, if you couple it with a minor possession or with a DUI or something else, it could turn into a felony and could face more serious penalties. In that event, if you just have an open container and you're an adult over the age of 21, it's probably just a misdemeanor type of offense. All of this is to say, put their drinks in the trunk. That's the safest way to go forward. If you or someone you know have any issues with this and you live in the state of South Carolina, please contact our office. I'm John Henderson with HH Law.